Good morning, good day to you, as usual, whenever and wherever you listen to this series of knowledge seekers from Space Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. As usual, welcome you back, and we try to add to the knowledge. As you heard in the intro, we have entered a very delicate subject of us really becoming passengers of universe. We thought we got everything done with star formation and everything else, but now you realize your star formation fuel is of the wrong type. You need the right types to be able to make that span, to be able to travel. You cannot do this with matter state. You cannot do this with confirmation of the what you thought cancers will give you, because as I said, you have not learned about the conversion of the fields and matter to fields, and either way, understanding the totality. If you listen to the intro, which is part of the last week teaching and teachings before that, you must have triggered something in your knowledge. Or the discussion must have triggered some gap, or what was said has not fully been understood. Listen to the intro and listen to the teaching of last week many times. You will find out I unraveled the mystery. Unraveled a knowledge that brings a very big question mark on the whole theory of evolution. We have evolved on this planet by immigrating, moving, going from one place to another, by nature of the place, magnetic field, change our feature to short, black, white, blue, Chinese, God knows what. If you understood the teachings from the beginning, and maybe the concept has come to you in one point or another, question you ask yourself, which in a way was answered last week, and I tried to expand on it that you understand it more in depth. We explained that you manifest a time, place, and position according to its fields, according to the strength that it allows you to manifest. Look at the body of the man. Look at the intriguing combination of the layers, organs, cells, operation, the design, the shape, the intelligence, the emotion, and the soul of the man. Ask yourself one simple question. If you are not prejudiced towards what you've been taught, and that question is, if man could immigrate and go through evolution and become so many different races and colors and whatever, and animals, according to the time, place, and position, as the man could physically take himself to, and in interaction of soul of physicality of the soul of the man and the soul of the physicality of the time, place, and position and the planet, you convert it to short, tall, black, white, and the rest of it. Then there is a very big question mark. When you look at the intriguing structure of every cell of the body of the how kidney has different operations, filters for different things, liver, structure of it. The question for you is, was the planet Earth so clever to produce this structure over billions of years and connect it through what we call neurosystem and the blood? Or if you understood the subject of transmutation, was the RNA of the man universal condition in arriving on this planet in the right place, time and position, having the right field strength, has gone through a transmutation where this intriguing structure of the body of the man is actually completed in another time, place and position in universe. And depending on how the position and time and the place has been, has created life due to its moisture structure and upper atmosphere, as we've seen from NASA, in the oceans, as we've seen in what man calls in Africa, and in Central Africa in a lake, and in North America in another shape or form. And as we know scientifically, originally it wasn't just one race. There were other races that over time one has eliminated one or has integrated one race into another that now has reached the man of today. So as the field of the universe, carrying the information, the time and place, as you were the woman in London going to the wedding in New York, you're transmuted and you manifest yourself in different color and shape. As these fields of the structure of the physicality of the man on the back of the amino acids of the carbon 14 in conjunction with physicality of the structure of the carbon 60 manifesting, interacting themselves as man of one race in North Europe and man in one shape in Africa and man in another shape in Australia and the rest. But in fact, the information arrived on this planet at the same time and the place and the condition of the position and time created different man on this planet. Then this makes sense because stupidly man does this. This is the kidney, this is the layers of it, this is the function of this place, this is the function of that place. Excuse me, 4 billion years, according to our scientists, is not enough to develop such an intriguing structure of body of the man. So man has to accept he has gone through what we call changes, evolutions, after arriving on this planet through the fields of the universe. If you understand this, this gives you a massive step forward, which means if you can go back to the original fields, which is within the structure of the amino acid of the man and in the RNA of the man, man can go back as a natural way to other time and place and position where the origin of life was transmuted to this planet. When we tell you, we take you back to the universal community, you already came from the universal community, isolated yourself and became a village where the city and its citizens outside carried on with their work. The interesting point for many of the scientists of the future is when we come across the citizens of the universe, would we look into their structure to see where our ancestral life in the depth of the universe comes? Which one of them has familiarity in the space-time and energy as us on a basic level that shows we are cousins? We have a forefather, and see how they evolved their kidney and the brain and how we evolved ours. So if you understand this opens a new dimension to the knowledge. But the interesting point for you will be that the man who you are, the spin of its fields of energy of the universe, has a share in your soul, connection to your soul. And interesting enough, as man has created other souls to penetrate, to become part of the structure of the universe, has passed this information on to the next cycle, the next generation of life in the universe. It'll be intriguing how the scientists, now knowing that they themselves are part of the travelers of the universe, arriving on this planet, going through what I call no immigration passport control, arrived, and then in that process, what we call took changes according to the time, place, and space on this planet. Evolution of the planet Earth. But the soul of the man, the original part which arrived as energy, has gone through the evolution of it for this planet, coming from another dimension and place. In a very short time, we opened that channel. And if you understood that, you understand why when you dream, you call it a dream. You've been going places you do not know, some aliens, some familiar. And then you come to understand the knowledge is embedded with you in your RNA, in the original fingerprint of the universal energy, and you carry all the knowledge. And you're still looking for it. The only thing you have to do, the only thing you have to look for is the key to that knowledge. It's embedded with you. It's within your RNA. It's within the structure of it. But as you travel through the dimension of the information line of the universal community through carbon-14, with the interaction of the what we call physicality of carbon-60, you carry the knowledge of the universe, and you travel in this dimension. And once you understand this, a lot of times which you don't remember as part of the dreams of your sleep time will start making sense, and you find out this brain has never stopped. The time you dream about the uncle, it could be 5 minutes of 8 hours of sleep. Where is the other 7 hours and 55 minutes has been spent? In understanding the new knowledge and exploring the depth of it, you will start seeing why the scientists, through their ignorance, say man only uses few percentage of his brain, but in fact the brain is continuously used 100% by the soul for its interaction and memory bank of data all the time. As I said to a scientist when we were doing the condition of one of the coma patients, I explained this, and if you understand what it means, you have solved half of the problem of your knowledge and understanding. is that the brain scientists tell us we use 5 or 10% of the brain and the rest of it is not used, where it shows their ignorance. You put your arm on your side and don't use it for 10 years. It rots. It hangs. The muscles won't move. The fingers go through all sorts of changes because it's not used. Then think, is there any part of your brain which is dead, not working, wasted, just to be there because it was created? Or does your brain stays fresh, working and continuously operating? Which means it never stop working. It's in use. Is our scientists, through their ignorance, have not understood the other 85–90% of the brain of the man, while the man says is not used, is continuously used by the soul of the man, by connection to universal field strength and other operation of the body of the man. So we see how science changes, how much wrong information we are given, and how as knowledge seekers we have to open these doors. And in a way, walk away from fallacies of the past. Then it comes to you in how you connect yourself to this carbon 14, how you use the carbon 60, how you open the door of the what I call the knowledge of universe, and you become part of the universal community in the field of strength, time, place, and position. Creating condition of life through what we call the transportation fields of the universe is different. And in so many ways, man needs to step up to do. And then you come to see how the universal community works by knowledge, universal technologies, and understanding of the work of the universe, which in a drips has become part of what we call the life of the man. Now, it's for you knowledge seekers to develop technologies which are connected to the carbon 14, carbon 12, and carbon 60, and then carbon 840. You understand why this 840 will come and 860 will be conditioned on the back of it. These are not the knowledge that man knows, and in future become part of the work of intelligence, communication, and life process of the man. It'll be interesting how man will realize this. There is a common denominator working in a way isotope combination of fields of the universe. We call it the carbon. In the universe known as connection lines, how we change fields, radiation into matter state. And this has been the dilemma of the man. On Earth, we create the atmospheric condition of the Earth as our scientists tell us. And then we give it inertia to give it the manifestation of the matter state. In the universal magnetic fields, condition of the containment and what you call inertia of the matter becoming inertia of the confinement of the fields of the universe is done through carbon 60. And in connection with it, the carbon range isotopes of 800. This will give you multifaceted structures, which allows you to live in a space, go through transmutation, and then arrive, manifest yourself in a time, place, and position. The carbon 800 plus, which will come as part of the structure of the work of the transmutation, will be taught thoroughly in the coming time. This material, these kind of the structure of the field energies, will bring about conditions that man can transmute to every dimension in the universe instantaneously, and 100% guaranteed that life will never end in any shape or form. In the world of the physicality, you eat food, different combinations to support different field strength structure of the body of the man. In the universe, you need to tap into the universal energy to be able to feed every layer energy, feel the strength of your soul, or your transportation system, or whatever you call it. And this cannot be done by just seeing the fields, feeding the fields. You have to be within the zone, you have to be in the structure that holds on to these points of energies, and there are huge number of them across the universe. In a way, they are your takeaway in the space. They are your supermarket with everything you need in it for you to survive any time, place, and position in the universe. It's just for you to know where to shop and from which shelf to pick up the right thing, depending which, what they call, taste of the emotion your body has. Do you like a Chinese or would you like Indian? And when you go to the supermarket, you cannot buy the herbs of Chinese to make an Indian food. It does not work. If you understand this, you will find out I have opened the secret of creation and life of the man in the universe. But in the coming time, we'll explain it more in detail. I go through this in a very thorough way, show you the systems, materials which bring you to that position, which allows you to understand and walk away from what you call ganses and other things, but you understood the physical structure, the field interaction of these materials. As we progress, our scientists are developing these technologies, and it can be shown. In Sanya, you will see one of the most sophisticated advanced technologies that none of you have ever seen, understand. And this will bring you new dimensions. And this brings you new understanding. Those of you who attended last Friday, many of you have gone through evolution of life in your cycle of thinking, physical life, and emotional, and a living life. A number of you have started a transmutation by wish, by will, but you still get lost in it and you don't know where you are, and you go and do things, and now you're getting more confidence to become the transmuters. You find emotion, the strength of emotion of transmutation, which gives you the transmutation. And some of you have not touched that. You're still looking for physical transmutation, but you have to understand, you have to carry the emotion of the time, place, and the position, and the emotion of the soul of the man to give yourself manifestation of physicality. Now you understand how advanced some of your knowledge seekers through emotion and feeling have come and become and moving forward with. You go shopping, you go down the road to somewhere, and you come back and you're aware this was the soul trip. I'm still here in the physicality of the man. As I get reports from different knowledge seekers since last Friday, as we tested a new system, we're coming, superimposing the field strength of the emotion, and what we call plasmatic condition of cosmic rays over what we call the physical matter state. So you have started going through learning and understanding the process. And when you go through the full transmutation, you are not scared. You're not afraid, what's this in front of me? The body is not what I know, but it follows my instruction. Or it doesn't follow my instruction because I haven't made the right connection to it. Now you understand how the process of creation, as you thought you went through the evolution of time and place and space and position on this planet over thousands of years, applies the same to where you came as energy to go through the evolution of life in the universe to become man of the earth. As you are part of it, you came from it. And this intriguing structure of your kidney and liver is not the product of this planet. In a way, it has been served on silver platter. And the chef of the fields of this planet has changed it to a beautiful dish as what we call the human body and the rest we see on this planet. What becomes important for you, and in a coming time will show, is the delivery of the energies of the universe, making man to become the passenger of universe than the village of the man. And you cannot do this, unfortunately, with little knowledge of what we call the magnets and nanomaterials you have. Creating universal materials in the plasma condition is the opening of the new science for man, where you create fields of the universe in the dimension of both manifestation of the fields and interaction of the fields and a combination of the fields to create time, place and space. As part of what I call carbon 800 plus, in a coming time, you will understand how this works and how most of the planetary systems, solar systems, cosmic systems and universal systems all work through the division of the field forces of this combination. And depending at what level, at what strength you use this combination, will give you from plutonium to hydrogen. From materials man cannot even imagine exist, with atomic numbers by order of magnitude bigger than what man has in his periodic table. It's important for you as knowledge seekers to move into understanding the field forces of the creation, not number of turns of the matter state of your coil. Look at the design and the intriguing structure of the brain of the man. Then understand the complexity of the life in the universe, which this, what you call your brain, is a drop in the ocean of the knowledge and the creation and the created matter life in the universe. Now you understand why in the teachings of the past I have mentioned many times, when you travel from Earth to another dimension, the amino acid structure of your brain cannot exist because there is no nitrogen in that environment. So what happened? It'll be your demise. It'll be conversion in what we call evolution of life for you, or you know how to handle it and you dictate the position, time, place and energy strength of your field. Then if you understand this, when You travel from London to New York. You decide to manifest as a woman in a wedding dress, as understanding the structure of the fields as a dog, or the roles which the lover gives to the physicality of the woman at the wedding point. You can even go into the dimension of becoming the structure of the ring and feel how it feels, emotion, directly in touch when it goes on the finger. You need to understand why for past months and years I keep on telling you, please ignore the structure of the turns of the Maghreb and look at the fields. Now you understand how those fields play the game and how you can use them to create the understanding of the evolution in the universal community and not just evolution of the man on this planet. You need to develop technologies that it brings into play the carbon 12, 14, carbon 60, and then go in understanding of the what I call cubical structure of physics with isotopes of carbon 48. You got to understand how the system is nourished. If you take carbon 60, and if you understand the operation of cosmic rays, there is a big discrepancy in the energy plasmatic fields, and depends on the angle of entrance of the field into the surface area of the what I call containment of the carbon 60, the crystal structure. And that interaction leaves a residue which becomes the energy within the structure of the carbon 60. You have to understand the what I call how we explain energy from the beginning in the teaching of KSW. And if you understood that, now you understand this part. We always said in the plasma technology, energy is considered to be magnetic fields in motion. And when you have 5-ray isotopes of carbon 14 hitting a carbon 60 surface containment, has a residual that in a way becomes what you call field radiation, and becomes the energy essence of keeping the crystal structure in operation. If you have 5 field strength to 5 what I call dimension of carbon 12, you understand this clearly what it means and how you can transmute, use the energies of the difference to sustain life within the crystal. And this is how your soul works. This is how your central energy works. This is why I kept on saying for decades that the food you put in your stomach is only 20% of what you actually absorb from outside, because this, what you put in stomach, it once converted into plasma, become precursor, become the source that is higher strength trying to feed, it feeds the body of the man on its way. Now this brings into focus a lot of teachings of the past. They're all coming together to give you the time, place, position, manifestation, transportation, transmutation, and everything else that is in your hand. And no one can touch it. Nobody can preach you with it unless they want to find a way to steal it from you. In a way, taking it from you or connecting to you to use your resources than theirs. And as it cannot happen, you understand the understanding, the knowledge of the creation. So, for the first time, maybe in a deeper understanding, you understand that even the physicality and the soul of the man is an evolution of the science and technology of the universe, which has found its time, place, and position in the condition of the fields of this planet to manifest itself as man or any other creatures. And you understand this if you comprehended the meaning behind it, means you're just part of an evolution of the soul of the Creator, and not more and nothing less. Then you understand I made man in the image of myself, which means it's me, you're just in a way dressing it up with your physicality. And in that process, with the interaction of field of the time, place, and position, which itself comes from another field, the strength of me, creates a new you, or what you call your evolution. You look at the soul of the man, you look at the physicality of the man, and you say, now I understand I came from another planet or whatever connection, soul, understanding the fields. Don't forget, this planet came through the same system. It's the interaction of what I call uncle with a niece, where the niece was created out of the interaction of the same, but connection to another. Now, those of you who understood this should be able to create the first transmutation systems without the matter and without ganses. And those of you who cannot will have a piece of news for you after the break. But you have to understand how you use the knowledge to be part of the structure, and you not use the knowledge to destroy the structure, as you shall not be allowed. Now you understand the purpose of carbon 60, the purpose of the carbon 800 range, and the purpose of what we call, especially carbon 840 and carbon 860. This will play a huge game in which part of the universe you connect yourself. And you have to understand this. The scientist of the man has to understand the gameplay of this structure. And one day, man will come to understand this position. It has no choice. If you wonder why I brought the subject of carbon 840 and 860 range, soon you'll understand. This is the energy fields of the unicos. This is the energy fields of the universe in conjunction, in interaction with each other. We speak about carbon 60, which is the combination and structure of the physical matter of the carbon 12, and the point of the place and the common information of manifestation. Then we speak about the dimension of the carbon 14, which is an energy pack system, not a physical dimension pack system. Then we speak about carbon 60, which gives the structure of the matter state conformation of the existence in a crystal structure of the time, place, and position. Now, if you take 60 of the carbon 14 with a carbon 60 itself, you'll find you reach a new dimension of carbon 840, which this gives you another dimension in the universal energies. But man has to understand the formation of the carbon 16 and how carbon 16 plays the what we call imprisonment of the fields, conversion of the fields of the universe into the matter state to be able to survive in the tent, in this crystal structure existence, but at the same time to be dynamic fields and not a solid state, diamond on the ring of the matter. If you understood this, and you understand the conformation of the carbon 14, carbon, what we call 840 and 860, then you understand I have given you the key to transmutation across the universe. Giving a strength by the order of magnitude to the whole structure. And then you understand why universal field forces, communication within the structure of it, brings into play a new cycle of life for man. Transmutation at higher speed, instantaneous. And then you understand why I said many times, when you look at the star, what you see is already connected to you through the dimension of the zero time, place and position and energy. As a steer, you have the same strength in your body that you see. Because what you see as the stars in the sky is a fraction of total lives in the universe. In the empty space gaps between what you call planetary system and the stars is actually a dimension of another plasma which has been blind to man through the strength of his amino acid plasmatic magnetic fields. Otherwise the universe is a one solid gel. There is no empty spaces, and you only see what your amino acid field strength is in parallel with the what I call energies of the universe open to your amino acid. Our scientists say 5% of the universe is made of planets because they never understood that the 85 is more solid than what you see as your stars, but it's the gel connecting, holding all that together. And as you don't have the knowledge, you are, as I said, ignorance is a bliss. Now, the job of you as knowledge seekers and the future scientists is understand the key of transmutation, understand that you are part of what arrived and not what part of created all in, and you have in a way converted some to fit to live on this planet, and you've gone through mutation. As I said at the end of the book 1, God is the creator of all and man converter of some, because he doesn't understand the rest of the other some through the lack of knowledge and his total ignorance of its own existence. So maybe today for the first time you have the confirmation. If you understood the process of evolution, if you understood the process of carbon 16 and carbon 14 and carbon 12, you, my dear friends, are all passings of universe. You immigrated without passport. It's the field strength of this planet by your ancestors some time ago, and you claim it to be yours. Now you understand the truth about your own. You're nomads of the universe, and everybody else is in the same shoe. We go through a break and we come back, but now open your eyes into what is to come. And a new cycle of technologies and sciences that we open for you to be able to go through what is your wish, to remember life in the dimension of the man, and at the same time have the emotion of the universal community that you're part of, and you're just finding your cousins. have a wonderful time. Then these cousins are billions of them. And they all look different as they went through their own evolution of time, place and space and position.